Alright, welcome back, guys.
In the morning and
We left off on Gia John. I'm gonna let
I
Mike
wake
take
to the
this
morning sun and I
So
want to see football.
my feeling with
Look,
Jay guy is there's a large injury
to
risk
see football.
with him. I feel like he's too fragile, although he is somewhat
see
of a power
football.
back. I also don't feel like
Bro,
he's
look at me
a
go.
great
Like you don't even know. Cause
pass
it's football.
catcher, but
Fantasy,
he can score touchdowns, and if he can stay healthy,
Fantasy
I think
football.
it's very good for
My
standard and pretty good
Bend
for
over.
PPR.
Look at me now.
But
Fantasy
I feel
football.
he's a
Gonna make you
little
feel
bit
good with
overrated in this draft, but
Fantasy
I would take him if he falls to you.
awakening now.
Next is Amari Cooper.
Awakening right. Where do
We
I
both
awaken?
disagree on this guy. Like, I think he's a fantastic receiver. I think Derek Carr's a great quarterback.
Fantasy
Now, I found out recently that he doesn't have the advantage of the Las Vegas new
Fantasy
stadium
football.
with like new turf and all that. I think they're playing in Oakland definitely for this season and maybe even next season, which kind of sucks if you ask me. But whatever. Which is why I figured out why they it's still labeled as Oakland now. I just realized that you really only have to worry about Michael Crabtree stealing any of his targets. I don't think he'll have near as good a season as he did.
We'll get to that later, though.
Yeah.
Because we have split opinions on him also. Rob Gronkowski. I met Gronk. He's massive, as can be expected. He, however, as Ben made a good point of pointing out, he is on the cover of Madden, which is a no-no most of the time. And, I mean, he's at a huge injury risk all the time, basically, but I feel especially now that he's on the Madden cover. But if he can stay healthy, I wouldn't draft him at 20, but if he can stay healthy, he's great.
Just to reiterate, Mike Crotch has been with Rob Gronkowski, which is kind of cool if you ask me, that Mike Crotch has had that experience. I'm sorry. We're going to have to edit that. Next is Lamar
My
Miller.
name is very unfortunate. I'm sorry.
Next is Lamar. We just wasted like a minute and a half.
So edit that.
So,
I hope. I just make it louder.
I always want to leave it. So next is Lamar Miller. There is no reason for him to be ranked 21 overall. He did terrible last season. Like, he had 2 good games. I think if Deshaun Watson starts, which I think is highly unlikely, which Mike disagrees with.
My crotch loves.
All right. They're not going to use him as much, and he doesn't have competition per se. But I think in the future, Alfred Blue is going to be doing a lot for that franchise, unless of course he goes somewhere else. I don't know about anything about his contract. In fact, I don't even think we'll get to him in this podcast.
Yeah, we don't go to the 400s.
Yeah. He's not even that great of a running back. Like, he's definitely not good for PPR. And he doesn't. He's the guy there that has to get those touchdowns. Now more than ever.
Yeah.
I think Tom Savage will do better than. Well, I mean, obviously better than last year because he didn't even start half the time. But I think he'll surprise people this season.
All right, then
We'll talk about that when we get to D-Hop.
Yeah, then we got Alshon Jeffrey. I mean, a little bit of competition, but I mean, he's a huge injury risk. I don't think he's going to season without missing a few games in years.
I don't think he's done it ever.
Yeah, but if he's healthy, I mean, he's getting up there in the age, but if he's healthy, he could be a good flex play, I feel.
Age is definitely more of an issue with running backs than is wide receivers.
Yeah.
But, I mean, age is an issue overall, but I think running backs have less of a time frame to be great.
Yeah.
Demaryius Thomas should definitely not be this high in the draft, but he seems to always be high, no matter what. Especially now with Peyton Manning gone, or he's been gone for 2 years. You're getting either Trevor Siemian or Paxton Lynch to be throwing to him. So if you ask me, I'm all set. And Emmanuel Sanders is always there too. And C.J. Anderson, if he can stay healthy, catches passes. So you just don't know, and I think the Broncos' offense will be atrocious.
I think at best he has a decent season. But,
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't draft him that high. And then D-Hop, you wanted to talk about him?
Well, I had Diop, that like breakout season for him. I think it might have been his rookie season, like 2 years ago, and he's a Clemson wide receiver. They're pretty much all good, like Sammy Watkins and Mike Williams, especially. And Deshaun Watson's been part of that system, so if he starts, he's probably going to rely on DeAndre Hopkins more than their other guy, Will Fuller the fifth, who I don't know where he went to college, but he's actually a pretty solid pick. But we'll probably not get to him, but whatever.
Yeah.
I think, I think. I mean, last season was a shit show, for lack of a better term. Actually, that's a perfectly good way to describe it. I think he can only go up, and I think he's gonna have a fantastic season. Not a fantastic season, but like in comparison to his last season, like a lot better than that.
And then we got Todd Gurley.
You see, Todd Gurley, I mean, he's kind of touchdown or bust, but nobody else is gonna do it over there. Like Kenny Britt just went to Cleveland, God help his soul. I think that makes their top receiver Tavon Austin, who always seems to be one of my sleepers.
But he never
does anything. I think he's a great punt returner. I don't even know if he returns punts anymore. But Todd Gurley has absolutely no competition, and they don't have a quarterback. What's the guy's name that they drafted?
Who?
For LA.
I don't know. Wait.
Yeah, I couldn't. I was trying to think of it this morning. I had no idea about it. Not the guy that they were using, but
Do you mean the guy from North Carolina?
Jared Goff.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was good in college, but he's not going to transfer over.
As we've shown, and he didn't even get that much experience last year. They kept using that guy like Case Keenum was his name.
All right, Leonard Fournette.
He's not there anymore.
I feel Leonard Fournette can really not do anything. I feel like he's way overhyped, especially for where his draft pick is. That's way too early. I feel like in the future he can be a great player in the league. Probably, yeah. But I'm not getting him this year. There's no point in that, in my opinion.
He's definitely ranked too high, but I think he's going to be the best. I think he's going to get Rookie of the Year. I think he's going to have a solid season, nothing like Ezekiel did last year. Running backs with his type of style seem to be trending and doing much better. Like guys like Gordon or Elliott or Gurley. But yeah, they have similar styles. Those guys aren't exactly all the same. But T.J. Yeldon and Chris Ivory, I mean, neither of them did anything last season, and they were both some of my sleepers, and I was very disappointed. He's definitely ranked too high, but I keep my eye on him. If you got nobody to take that round, like you probably have to take him like late in the third, maybe earlier in the fourth, then he's a solid option.
And we got Jordan Reed, who I don't like in any way this high, or really at all. He's always ranked too high. He's going to get a concussion. He's going to miss games, and he's not worth a pick that's so important in this draft that early. He's not worth it. You can get much, not necessarily much better, but very good and same tier tight ends later in the draft. It's not worth it.
Yeah. Doug Baldwin is another wide receiver controversy between Mike and I. Like, he is the guy in, Seattle. And I think he puts up a lot of points. I frankly don't trust Eddie Lacy. Like, the weight's not as much as an issue, but he's getting on in years. He's easily past his prime. And Jimmy Graham has been very disappointing.
He started to really play well, though, last season, towards mid to end season. I would watch out for him. But we'll get to that later. Thank you for listening in on this episode. First few rounds, going pick by pick. Tune in again later. Bye.